Today I'm going to share my full drawing process with you, from the very beginning all the way to the final completed artwork. In this video, I'll show you step by step how I create a drawing inside Clip Studio Paint, starting completely from scratch and slowly turning it into a finished piece. I'll walk you through every stage of the process, including how I start the sketch, how I refine it, how I do the line art, and how I gradually build the final artwork. While I'm drawing, I'll also explain what I'm doing at each step and why I'm doing it. So if you're a beginner or someone who wants to improve their digital art, this video will really help you understand the workflow. At the same time, you'll also learn about a few useful features in Clip Studio Paint that can make your drawing process easier and faster. I won't make it complicated. I'll keep everything simple and easy to follow, so you can try it yourself too. For this video, I'll be creating a simple female face portrait character. The drawing will be done in portrait mode, so you can clearly see every step of the process from start to finish. So if you enjoy digital art, speed paints, or learning new drawing techniques, make sure to watch till the end. Let's get started and begin today's drawing. So now I've finished creating the basic structure of the face and the overall hair form. The next step is to start building the eyes, but for now I'm not going into details. I'm just creating a rough shape to guide the placement and proportions. At this stage, the goal isn't to make everything look perfect. It's simply to create a structure that helps me understand what to do next. While sketching, I keep checking the proportions again and again to make sure the angle of the face looks correct and everything feels balanced. Now I'm roughly sketching the eyeballs and the eyebrows as well. Everything here is still very loose and rough. I'm not focusing on small details yet because this stage is only about getting the correct shapes and placement. Next, I'm moving on to the nose. I'm lightly sketching the nostrils and the basic shape of the nose, but again, I'm keeping it very simple. Right now, the only thing I'm focusing on is proportion and structure, not details. I'm also making small corrections in between whenever something doesn't look right. Because if the proportions are not correct at the sketch stage, the final artwork won't look good no matter how much detail we add later. So this step is really important, and taking a little extra time here actually makes the whole drawing process much easier later on. One thing that really helps during the drawing process is flipping the canvas from time to time. It gives you a completely fresh perspective and helps you notice mistakes that you normally wouldn't see. As soon as I flipped this drawing, I immediately noticed quite a few mistakes. So now I'm going to correct them one by one. Flipping the canvas makes the artwork feel like you're looking at it for the first time, and because of that, it becomes much easier to spot problems in the proportions and the overall structure. Another important thing to keep in mind is the horizontal alignment of the face. For example, both eyes should be placed properly on the same level. If one eye is slightly higher and the other is lower, the whole face can start to look unbalanced without you even realizing it first. Right now, I also feel like the nose looks a bit too big, so I'm going to make it slightly smaller. Since this is a female character, a smaller and softer nose usually fits better and makes the character look more feminine and balanced overall. So at this stage, I'm just making small adjustments and improving the proportions before moving on to the next step, because fixing mistakes early always makes the final artwork look much better. So now the basic structure of the face is finally complete. The next step is to start cleaning up the sketch. First, I'm going to take the eraser and slightly reduce the opacity of these rough sketch lines so that they become lighter and easier to work on. After that, I'll completely remove the guidelines because at this stage we don't really need them anymore. Now I'm going to move toward adding details. I'll start by detailing the eyes first, because the eyes are the most important part of a portrait, and they really define the overall expression of the character. I'll focus on finishing the eyes properly before moving on to anything else. Along with the eyes, I'll also work a little on the surrounding eye area, like the upper eyelids, the area above the eyes, and even a bit of the eye bags to make the face look more natural. I'll also refine the structure around the eyes to make everything look more clean and balanced. Once this side is done, I'll follow the exact same steps on the other side. Now that both eyes are finished, I'm quickly moving on to the lips. Lips usually have a simple structure, so this step doesn't take too long. After finishing the lips, the main face area is basically complete. Next, I'll add the neck. Nothing too complicated, just a simple and clean neck shape. Then I'll also sketch a small part of the shoulders to complete the overall structure. And just like that, the full sketch is now finished. So now it's finally time to move on to the coloring stage. The first thing I noticed is that the pure white background is creating too much contrast, and that can actually make coloring a little harder later. So instead of using pure white, I'm going to fill the background with a very light bluish color. It will still look almost white, but it will reduce the contrast and make the coloring process smoother. So first, I'm going to use the selection tool and carefully select the entire face area. Once the face is fully selected, I'll start filling in the base color. At this stage, I'm not focusing too much on choosing the perfect skin tone. I'm just filling in a simple base color for now, because this base color will change a lot later when we start adding shading and adjustments. So right now, it's more about blocking the colors than making them perfect. After that, I'll quickly select the neck area and fill in the base color there as well. Then I'll move on to the clothing area and do the same thing. I'm not overthinking anything at this stage. I'm just selecting each area one by one and filling it in quickly to build the basic color foundation of the artwork. Now I'm selecting the hair area. One thing I really like about this drawing is that the hair isn't too complicated, which makes the coloring process much easier and faster. Once the hair area is selected properly, I'm going to fill it with an almost black color. It's not completely pure black. In fact, in most cases, probably 99% of the time, you should avoid using pure black in your artwork. Even though it might look like pure black to the audience, it's actually a very dark color with a slight tone in it. Right now, it may look completely black on the screen, but it's not truly pure black. And using a slightly softer dark color usually makes the artwork look much more natural and professional. So now that the basic color blocking is done, it's time to move on to the details. I'm not going to start adding heavy details all at once. Instead, I'll build them slowly, step by step, so the character looks more natural and polished. First, I'm going to create a new layer and set it as a clipping mask to the skin layer below. This makes the process much easier because I can paint freely without worrying about the color going outside the face area. It also helps me work faster and keep everything clean. Now that the layer is clipped to the face, I'll start by adding a strong blush to the cheeks. This blush will be a little heavier than what I normally use. I'm using a strong pink tone here to make the character look more lively and expressive. After that, I'll move slightly toward a warm yellow tone and softly add it to the forehead and the chin area. I'm adding this yellow tone to create a smooth color gradient on the skin. Later, when we continue adjusting the colors and adding more shading, this base gradient will help the character look much more natural and realistic. This step may look simple, but it actually helps build a strong foundation for the skin tones and makes the final artwork look much more detailed and visually appealing. Now I'm going to start working on the neck area. The neck will have much heavier shading compared to the face because the light source in this drawing is coming directly from the top. When the light comes from above, the neck doesn't receive much light, so naturally it becomes much darker than the rest of the face. In this case, there also won't be much bounce light reaching the neck, so I'm keeping the shading simple. I'm just filling the neck area with a darker tone to create a strong shadow. This step doesn't require too much detail. It's more about creating depth and making the lighting look realistic. Now, to add more structure to the face, I'm going to create a new multiply layer. On this layer, I'll start adding the shadows that are being cast by the hair on both sides of the face. I'm slowly building these shadows step by step instead of adding them all at once. As I add these shadows, you can already see that the face is starting to look more structured and more three-dimensional. It also makes the overall character look much more polished and visually appealing. Now let's move on to the hair. In this character, there isn't too much to explain when it comes to the hair because the hairstyle is actually quite simple. If we look at it individually, the hair is mostly straight and clean, so the process becomes much easier. For this, I'm just going to use a basic brush and slightly reduce the opacity. Then I'll start working inside the main hair shape by gently adjusting the values, making some areas a little darker and some areas a little lighter. I'll also add very small color variations, like a slight touch of blue or a little bit of brown. Nothing too strong, just very subtle changes so the hair doesn't look flat. After that, I'll start building the hair texture using light brush strokes. I'll keep adding strokes and then removing some of them to shape the hair properly. This helps create the effect of multiple hair strands overlapping each other, which automatically creates natural shadows and small highlights. So I'm going to finish the hair quickly now. If you made it this far into the video, that means you're probably finding it either entertaining or helpful in some way. So if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see next. Should I make more videos like this one? Or do you want tutorials on a specific topic? If there's anything you want to learn or anything you're curious about, just write it in the comments and I'll definitely try to make a video on it. Now, let's get back to the drawing and continue where we left off. The basic hair is already done, and since the light source is coming from above, I'll add some soft highlights on the upper part of the hair. I'll keep the highlight values very subtle so they blend naturally with the rest of the hair. And just like that, the hair is finished. Since the hairstyle wasn't too complex, the process was quick, which is always a good thing when you want to keep the drawing clean and efficient. Now I'm going to start adding highlights to the skin. Since the light source is coming from above, there will be highlights on the forehead and the nose area. So instead of wasting time, I'll quickly add those highlights first to bring more depth to the face. Once that's done, I'll move on to the eyes. The first thing I'll do is paint the white area of the eye. One important thing to remember is that the eye is never actually pure white. Even though it looks white, it always has a slight color tone. In this case, I'm using a mix of grayish blue and a little bit of purple to make it look more natural. After finishing the white area, I'll move on to the eyeball. This time I'm using a very dark color, almost black, and then I'll slowly add lighter tones on top of it to build the structure of the eye. I'll keep adjusting a few areas by adding small shadows and soft highlights until the basic eye structure looks complete. Now I'll move on to the eye bag area. The eye bag is actually very simple to draw. First, I'll add a soft shadow underneath, and then I'll add a small highlight on the upper area to make it look natural. And just like that, the eye bag is done. Next, I'll work a little on the area above the eye. This part isn't too complex either. Since this is a soft female character, there won't be strong folds above the eyes. So first, I'll shape it using soft shadows, and then I'll add a stronger highlight on the upper eyelid area because the light is coming from above. And just like that, this eye is now completely finished. Now I'm going to work on the nose. The nose is one of those parts of the face that you can either keep very simple or make more complex depending on your style. While painting the nose, you don't really need to overthink it. The main thing to remember is that the nose is made up of different small surfaces, and you just need to understand which surfaces are facing the light and which ones are facing away from it. If you ever find it difficult to paint the nose, especially when it comes to shadows and highlights, try thinking about the different faces of a nose and how the light hits them. That makes the whole process much easier and more logical. Personally, this step becomes much easier for me because I already understand the structure of the face, and I also keep a good reference available while working. Because of that, I don't face many problems during this step, and the nose gets finished quite quickly. After finishing the nose, I'll move on to the second eye. While painting the second eye, I'm going to follow exactly the same steps that I used for the first eye. First, I'll paint the white area of the eye in the same way. Then I'll work on the eyeball and build the structure using shadows and highlights. Once the main eye area is done, I'll quickly add the eye bag and refine the area above the eye as well. I'll also add a bit more structure around the eye using soft shadows and highlights. So this part is actually very straightforward because everything is almost the same as what we already did on the first eye. And just like that, this step gets finished pretty quickly. Now that both eyes are finished, I'm going to give the face a little more structure. The first thing I'll work on is the shadows. I'll start by adding soft shadows around the nose bridge and also the cast shadows near the sides of the nose. Since the light source is coming from above, the lower planes of the face will naturally be darker. So I'll add more shadow to the lower side of the nose and the surrounding areas. I'm using a soft gradient for these shadows because there aren't any hard edges in this area. Everything needs to look smooth and natural so the face doesn't look too harsh. Next, I'll move on to the forehead. Because the light is coming from the top, the forehead will receive a strong highlight. So I'll carefully add that highlight and make sure it blends nicely with the skin tone. After that, I'll also add a highlight along the nose bridge. This time the highlight will be much stronger, almost close to white, and it won't be as soft as the one on the forehead. The forehead highlight is more blended, but the highlight on the nose bridge will look sharper and more defined. Then I'll continue adding small highlights and soft shadows across the rest of the face to improve the overall structure. I'll also add highlights and shadows around the cheekbone area, since that part is slightly raised compared to the rest of the skin, and it helps the face look more three-dimensional. And just like that, the overall facial structure is starting to look complete. I may still make a few small adjustments if needed, but the main structure of the face is now finished. Now let's work on the lips. First, I'm going to simply select the lip shape using the selection tool. After that, I'll choose a soft pink color because for this character, I want the lips to look a little more pink and vibrant. Once the base color is filled, I'll add some light shadows to give the lips a bit of depth. Then I'll paint the highlight areas as well. This step doesn't take too much time. It's just about adding a little structure so the lips don't look flat. Now I'll remove the selection and softly blend the edges, so everything looks smooth and natural. After that, I'll add a few small white highlights, because lips usually have a slight shine, especially in feminine characters. These small highlights make a big difference and help the lips look more lively. And just like that, the lips are done. It didn't take much time or effort because the structure is pretty simple. Next, I'll move on to the eyebrows. Just like before, I'll first select the eyebrow shape and then lightly blend the base color. These eyebrows won't have very bold highlights. I want them to look soft and slightly faded. Then I'll use a brush to add a bit of structure, so it looks like individual hair strands. And just like that, the eyebrows are also finished. This step was quick and didn't require much effort either. Now I'm also going to add some small spots on the face. The character has a few very light facial spots, and adding them will actually give the character a really nice and natural effect. For this step, I'll use a special brush that works well for small skin details. Then I'll quickly add a few soft spots on the face. I won't overdo it, just a few subtle ones, so the character still looks clean, but a little more realistic at the same time. These small details may look simple, but they really help make the character feel more alive and less flat. And just like that, this step is done. Now I'm going to finish the neck area as well. This part doesn't require too much effort because it's mostly a darker area, so I'll quickly add the shading and keep it simple. With that done, the line work and overall structure of the drawing are almost complete. At this point, I don't really feel like the drawing needs any major changes. Everything looks balanced, and the character already looks clean and finished. So for now, I'm not going to do anything too detailed on the neck or the clothing. There aren't many strong shadows on the clothes, and the clothing area itself is quite small, so keeping it simple actually works better for this artwork. And just like that, this part of the drawing is finished. So yeah, this is the final result. We started this drawing completely from scratch, and step by step we slowly turned it into a finished artwork. From the basic face structure, to the rough sketch, to refining the proportions, then moving into the line work, the base colors, shading, highlights, and finally adding all the small details. Everything came together little by little. And honestly, that's what I love the most about drawing. It never starts perfect. In the beginning, it always looks messy. The sketch looks rough, the proportions feel wrong, and sometimes it even feels like the drawing is not going to work at all. But if you stay patient and keep improving it step by step, it slowly starts looking better and better. That's something I really want you to remember if you're learning digital art right now. You don't need to create perfect drawings from the start. You just need to focus on improving one small thing at a time. Maybe today it's proportions, tomorrow it's shading, and next time it could be lighting or coloring. If you keep practicing like that, your progress will definitely show. In this drawing, the main focus was to keep everything simple but clean. The hair was simple, the lighting was simple, and even the coloring was kept soft and smooth instead of making it too complicated. And sometimes, simple drawings actually look more professional than very complex ones. Because when you keep things simple, you can focus more on proportions, structure, and lighting, and those three things are what really make a drawing look good. Another important thing in this artwork was the lighting. The light source was coming from above, so most of the highlights were placed on the forehead, nose bridge, and upper parts of the face, while the lower areas like the neck were darker. Understanding light like this can completely change the way your drawings look. Even if your drawing style is simple, good lighting can make it look much more realistic and much more professional. Also, one thing I want to say is that this drawing was not rushed. Even though some parts were done quickly, I still kept checking the proportions again and again. I flipped the canvas multiple times, corrected the face structure, adjusted the nose size, fixed the eye alignment, and made small changes until everything looked balanced. These small corrections may not look important while drawing, but they make a huge difference in the final result. If you're someone who is learning digital art right now, try to focus more on the process instead of the result. When you only focus on the final result, you can get frustrated very easily. But when you start enjoying the process, the sketching, the shading, the coloring, and the small improvements, drawing becomes much more fun and much less stressful. And honestly, this channel is not just about showing finished drawings. I want this channel to be a place where you can actually learn something from every video. Whether it's a small tip, a new technique, or just motivation to keep drawing, I want every video to help you in some way. If you watch the full video till the end, that really means a lot. Because most people don't watch drawing videos completely. So if you're still here right now, I really appreciate it. It shows that you're either interested in digital art or you genuinely enjoyed the drawing process. And both of those things are really important for me as a creator. So if you enjoyed this video even a little bit, make sure to like the video because it really helps the channel grow. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. I'm planning to upload more drawing process videos, more speed paints, and also some tutorials where I'll explain things in a very simple way, especially for beginners. Also, don't forget to comment below and tell me what you want to see next. Do you want more portrait drawings like this? Do you want tutorials about shading? Do you want videos about improving your art faster? Or do you want videos about digital art tips that actually work? Whatever you want to see next, just write it in the comments and I'll definitely read it. And one more thing, if you're also an artist who is trying to improve or grow on social media, don't give up just because your posts are not getting many views right now. Every artist goes through that phase. Even the artists you see today with thousands of followers also started from zero at some point. The only difference is that they didn't stop. They kept posting, they kept practicing, and they kept improving. So if you really love drawing, just stay consistent. Even if you draw something small every day, it will still make a difference. Your art will improve, your confidence will improve, and slowly your audience will also start growing. This is just the beginning. I'm going to keep posting more videos, keep improving my art, and keep sharing my full drawing process with you in the most simple and honest way possible. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end. I really hope you enjoyed the drawing, and I really hope you learned something useful from it. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep practicing, keep improving, and keep drawing.